Let's take a look at what's going on with Dogecoin. Alright, so Dogecoin has had a nice little pump the past couple days, and we broke through the Fibonacci retracement at the 180.185 level, which is the 78% Fibonacci retracement level that we've been looking at. That I've been kind of looking at. So we had a big, huge run last year, and then we started having trouble up here. Then we started coming down. Ever since then, I got the Fibonacci retracement tool, drug from the bottom of the run to the top of the run, and then I've been looking at these levels as we come down, and they act as support and resistance. Sometimes they act as support and will bounce on them. Sometimes they will act as resistance and will come up to them and get rejected on them. A lot of the times, like I said, support and sometimes resistance. I'm using these levels to trade on though. And I feel like when we break through them, we could look to the next one for a target. I think the last time I made a video, which has been a while, sorry about that, but we broke through this .185 level and we came up. The target I was looking at was .248, and I'm kind of looking at .248 right now because we just broke through that .185 level. Let's go ahead and delete some of the things. But okay, so here's what happened in the last couple things. Basically, I'm looking at .248 right now because we broke .185. I'm thinking maybe we could come up here, kind of recreate what happened over here. If we could break through .185, then I think maybe we can go higher. But let's kind of go back to where we were the last time I made a video. So I think the last time we were looking at this chart, we came up here and we started going sideways. I was looking at the bottom, and then I was looking at the top. We actually broke through the bottom right here, and I think this is where I took profits, and then I set a limit order down here. We actually bounced on this for a while. We were kind of chilling in this area, got rejected again over here, and that's when we came down and hit .185 again. Maybe we hit it right here. We broke through there. When we broke through that .185 level right here, I was thinking maybe we are going to go back to 10 cents, and I hadn't really made videos kind of because I was slightly bearish, but I've also been kind of busy. So when we broke through that, I was thinking 10 cents, but we didn't quite do that. We've been chilling in this previous support that we have been getting, that we got in this area over here. Let's go to the current time frame. This past little dip down here, because we broke through that .185, came down. Instead of coming all the way down to 10 cents, we kind of chilled in these previous resistance or support areas over here, got a bounce, and then Bitcoin's been doing really good too. So I think that's why Dogecoin has kind of rallied and came up. It kind of went sideways, not sideways, but it kind of was in this channel pattern. We had resistance, 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 support all along that line right there. Support, 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 support. Basically giving me these two trend lines. We're bouncing in between there. We broke above that. What we could do with those channel patterns is drag from the top to the bottom of those channels, of a channel pattern, drag it to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of something like that, which we already hit. But by breaking out of this channel pattern, we also broke that .185 level. So like I was saying, if we break through these levels going to the upside, the next spot that I'm looking at is the next one going up. If we do something like we come up here and we start having trouble, then I might think about taking profits again and set up a limit order like I did over here. We came up, hit this level, had trouble breaking through that area, pretty much a double top, and then we started coming back down and we hit that .185 level. So I bought and then I sold. Actually, I kind of sold somewhere over here. It wasn't perfect. I didn't like time it off that. I timed it off kind of the down movement, because if we would have broke through here, then I would have been looking at the next one going up. So I sold right here and then bought back over here, and then now we're in the plus again, and I'm kind of hoping that it comes up to .248 at least. Maybe it'll break through there. Maybe it'll get rejected and come back down, and we could set another limit order, but we'll have to wait and see. The other thing that I'm looking at, that's kind of the main thing that I'm looking at on Dogecoin in general. Let's get rid of some of these lines real quick. I actually was looking at a falling wedge too. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's go ahead and delete this one. We broke that one. This one held support. Let's go ahead and delete that. But I was looking at this falling wedge right here. We had resistance, 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 support, support, basically forming a falling wedge pattern. Pretty much my favorite pattern. If we break this going to the upside, then the next targets are the previous resistances. We came up, hit this resistance right here, sitting at around 20 cents, .205, something like that. We kind of broke through that, but we're having trouble right there. I guess that's the other thing I wanted to talk about too, is we're having trouble at these resistances right here. We came up, had trouble, got pushed down. Came up, had trouble, got pushed down. Right now, we came up, we're having trouble kind of chilling in that area. Let's see if we could break through this area at around .205, something like that. And then let's see if we can start coming back up here. But in these falling wedge patterns, ultimately the target is the top of the falling wedge. Doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you'll get kind of stopped out in the middle of it, which is usually there's like two targets. There's the middle of it and then there's the top of it. We came up, we hit the middle of it. Cool. Now let's see if we can continue to go up. Bitcoin's looks like it's doing pretty good, so I think Dogecoin, might be following it. But I think if we can continue this momentum going up, the next spot that I'll be looking at is .248. If we zoom out, let's go to the daily time frame. I was on the 4-hour time frame. We have we're looking at the top of that big run that I was showing you. We have resistance and resistance giving us this trend line, something like this. If we could break through this trend line, then maybe we can start looking at these other Fibonacci retracement levels that we have. This, I don't know. I mean, I was also looking at a falling wedge, something like, where is it? I don't even remember where it was. I guess the other thing that I'm looking at right now is this, now that I kind of look at it from a bigger perspective, is this resistance right here and this resistance right here giving us this trend line right like that. And then we also have, so I don't know, it kind of looks like a W pattern or double bottom, whatever you want to call it. So basically we went down, came up, got resistance, came down, got support, we're bouncing up, kind of a W pattern. If we can break through this top line right here, then it's kind of like a channel pattern. So we drag this out, do something like this, basically like a channel. Let's go ahead and delete that falling wedge pattern. We don't really need these. Well, we not really anyways. Let's go ahead and delete those. Let's go ahead and delete this guy. If we can break through this top line, what we can do is drag from the top to the bottom of this W pattern, something like that. That's not really perfect, but maybe something like that. Drag this to the breakout, and I think that's where that line that I was looking at, this line right here, I think that's where I got that from. That takes us all the way up to .339, this Fibonacci retracement level over here, which is the 38%. The 38% Fibonacci retracement level. So like I said, the first step, like first things first, is we have to break through this area, continue to move up, hit this .248 target. Since we broke through .185, hit that next Fibonacci retracement level. There's resistance right here. We're going to have to break through that resistance and this Fibonacci retracement level. Then we can start looking at .294, the 50%. But since we're breaking through this W pattern, we might even want to be looking at the next Fibonacci retracement level sitting at .339, which also lines up with that W target, something like this. So first target would probably be .248. If we could break through this level, the next target would be .339 if we can continue to push up. And like I was saying, we have this line right here. If we could break through that line, then maybe we could even go higher and maybe even test this bigger one up here. If we zoom out even more, we have the all-time high sitting right on sitting at around .739 over here, and then we have this top over here sitting at around .483 approximately. If we get the line tool and drag a line between those two tops, we have this kind of resistance area. If we could break through that, then we can maybe even come higher. I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to, like I said, there's a lot of steps that we can get rejected on first. We could even get rejected on right here and start heading down again. But things are looking pretty decent, it seems like. And now that we broke through .185, I am kind of looking at .248. And let's see if we could break through that W pattern, that same, or W. that same area of resistance, come up here and do that. These are kind of some of my bullish sentiments. Let's take a look at Bitcoin real quick just to show you guys we have broken all-time highs, or we're technically sitting at an all-time high. I kind of messed up. I sold some Bitcoin at this red level at at 105k. Actually, it was almost close to 106. 105,821 is where I sold some Bitcoin because I was talking to my coworker and he's kind of bearish, and I don't know, he's a smart guy, and I don't know, his kind of bearish sentiment kind of like rubbed off on me. So I sold a little bit of Bitcoin, and now it's up like 11-12%, somewhere around there. So that just goes to show you it wasn't a lot of Bitcoin, but it was a little bit. So yeah, here's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and delete some of these. Let's see where I got some of these lines from. It looks like there was a like we're in a flag pattern right here. We'll zoom in here in a second, but it almost looks like an inverse head and shoulders, where we have shoulder, head, and then shoulder, and then we broke out at this neckline right here. So I'm kind of looking at from the bottom of the head to the shoulder to the neckline, should I say, something like that. Drag that to the breakout, and that's where I'm getting that target of .147. Let's see if we can continue this move to the upside and continue to push. Like I said, if Bitcoin's moving up, then Dogecoin has a better chance in general. Maybe we can start getting, or maybe like Dogecoin could actually really start performing if Bitcoin kind of goes up. I mean, it might have to push up and then the altcoins will do it after or something, but I don't know. We'll see. It might, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. We were having trouble in this area too, though. That's another reason why I sold a little bit of Bitcoin, because it seemed like we were having trouble breaking through there, and we finally did. So now I'm a little bit more bullish. Unfortunately, it's a little too late. I mean, I kind of, like I said, I already sold a little bit of Bitcoin, but that's what happens when you listen to the bearish sentiment of people, I guess. And I don't know, it seems it's weird because I'm in tech. I mean, I'm in IT, but a lot of people in IT aren't into Bitcoin for whatever reason. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at on this chart as far as like the bigger time frame. But let's jump into like the 1 hour, or the 1 hour probably, I guess, because I was looking at this flag pattern. Anytime you get these like huge spikes and then you get consolidation and then you start moving to the upside, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of a flag pattern, something like that. We had a big run, then we're getting consolidation, and then we're breaking to the upside. We got a little bit of volume right here. I would like to see the volume come in a little bit more like it did in this area, but it is breaking to the upside as opposed to breaking to the downside. We'll see. Let's see if this momentum can continue to push up. But this pattern is basically a continuation pattern. So we're moving up. We got a huge spike. We get consolidation. If we can continue to move up, then that's that continuation. What we do is drag from the bottom to the top of that pole. Then we drag that to the breakout, and that gives us a target of approximately 126,037.69. So that's kind of, if we can continue this momentum on this and it doesn't kind of like fizzle out and go down, then this is the target that I'm looking at. I would also look at this bottom down here, because if we break, like let's say it does start fizzling out, or it does, because like we're not getting a lot of volume right here. This is the volume indicator, and what we want to see is a spike in green volume over here. So we have declining volume as this pattern is forming, which is normal, but we want to see at the end when we get a breakout, the volume confirms the breakout. So if we start seeing a lot of volume, that's confirming that we are breaking out, and we're breaking out of this pattern, should I say, and then we can look at a target of around 126,000 approximately, somewhere around there. So I'm looking at the volume. I'm wondering but basically we're not getting a lot of volume right now. So if we start coming down and we break this support line, then we might be coming back. I mean, we might be having trouble. We might be going sideways for a while, or I don't know, but that could be if we break this bottom sign or bottom line, then that could be a sign that we're not going to come up to or I keep on saying that because I'm used to Dogecoin. Then we might not be going to 126,000. What else do we got? So let's go back to Dogecoin. I think that about does it though. Let's see. Let's go back to Dogecoin. I think, like I said, the next thing that I'm kind of looking at, as long as we could keep this momentum going to the upside, is .248, the next Fibonacci retracement level. Yeah, let's see if we can keep this momentum going to the upside. All right, I think that about does it for this video. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to trading and want to check out the last video, check out my last video here and check out this playlist. It'll help you get started with looking at charts. And I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I can keep this momentum going as I'm making videos. All right, see you guys.